Okay, so we are live, guys.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to Googly Sports Live. And today we're going to be asking a very big question. As we've seen from the last few videos, we've been talking about Test and T20, and we
Mhm.
thought it was about time to talk about ODI. And we're kind of asking a slightly uncomfortable question: Is India on the verge of slipping in ODIs in the post Rohit and Kohli era? Because we know slowly Rohit and Kohli are going to retire, and this is not only about emotion. We're going
Right.
and nostalgia. We're not going to talk about just like random stuff. We're actually going to look at the numbers. Virat
Let's
Kohli,
slow down. Yeah.
yeah, Virat Kohli's chases, Rohit Sharma's big tournament records, and India's performances over the last decade.
Yeah, exactly. And what we are thinking to break down today's session is into three parts. One is at what Rohit and Kohli have actually done in ODIs with real statistics. Second is India's ODI record and missed trophies. And third, which is the most important, is the future of ODI cricket itself. Shrinking calendars, dropping interests, and what BCCI and ICC can do to keep the format relevant post Rohit Kohli era.
Yeah. So if you're an India fan, please stay tuned for what we're going to talk about today. So let's first talk about Virat Kohli's ODI legacy. He has been what we know as the gold standard of ODI batting for more than a decade, especially for India. And then let's show this with some numbers, especially where he's sitting on 14,255 ODI runs. He is the second highest run scorer in ODI history. Only Sachin Tendulkar is ahead of him.
Right, 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 right.
And let's think about this. He's the second of all time and still playing. His career ODI average has hovered around like very high 50s.
High 50s, yeah,
At
yeah.
various points, it's been around 58, which is crazy. It's actually very nice. That 58, a 58 average is really hard to achieve.
And that average is not padded with any easy runs. Most of the runs of Kohli we know have come in chases and as a reputation as a very very greatest ODI chaser ever. Backed up by hard data. In fact, I was looking at some data and I would should let our audience know that he has 70 50 plus scores in ODI chases, the most by any batter, and 28 ODI hundreds in chases alone.
Yeah.
That is also most of the history. So when India is chasing, the entire dressing room's confidence is all about tied to is Kohli still there?
Yeah, like basically what we're saying is that Kohli, he's been the master of chase, but what happens when he like goes away, right? That's not just his skill, it's psychological infrastructure. Ballers of other teams ball differently, knowing
Hmm.
that Kohli can close a chase all the time. They always know that Kohli can do it. There's also his performance against specific teams. For example, he has 10 ODI hundreds against Sri Lanka, the
Right,
most
right.
hundreds by any batter against one single team. And he stacked up big numbers against West Indies and others as well. He's got very sustained dominance, not just some random like patch of runs and then he just falls down. He's got sustained dominance in this format.
And I think I was thinking, Toshan, that you even if you look at his ODI captain stint, his win percentage as captain sits in a very very strong
Yeah.
band of the cricket, and in some of the matches India won comfortably more than they lost under him. So the criticism was never about the numbers in bilaterals; it was about trophies,
Yeah.
right? And under Kohli, India were consistently among the top ODI sides. But the story in ICC tournaments always felt like so close, but not quite there.
Yeah.
He raised the floor of Indian performance very much. India really had a disastrous series in his era, particularly.
Yeah, and if we break it into the conditions at home, under Kohli, India looked almost unbeatable in ODIs. The batting depth, the heavy spin
Yeah.
attacks were too much for most sides. As overseas, especially in SENA countries, Kohli's individual average stayed healthy, but the team win percentage dipped compared to home. It exposed how dependent India were on his runs plus one or two top order contributors, which we will talk about in some time.
No, absolutely. I think the SENA countries is always the biggest challenge, and now you see India struggling in
Yeah,
Ireland, even in Ireland and in England also.
yeah.
When we talk about the SENA countries, South Africa, England, New Zealand, and Australia, these are the places where India's record has little bit improved, but not consistently. So when we talk about a post-Kohli ODI era, what we are really asking is who will give you a career average of 55 to 60,
Yeah,
right? Chase must be 20 plus hundreds
yeah.
and a leadership intensity. especially in tough overseas games. So that's the bar he has set.
Yeah, and this is one thing which is why we're talking about India's ODI, because after Kohli's retirement, which is going to happen soon, who will fill that position? That's the main thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Now let's bring in Rohit Sharma, a top contributor batter in India, because India's ODI dominance in the last decade is built on two people and two pillars: Kohli's consistency and Rohit's explosiveness, especially in the the last few World Cups.
Yeah, especially his explosiveness in the big matches.
Yeah.
Because his big matches, he goes with a very, very high confidence. So Rohit's ODI story, if we look at, once he became a permanent opener, he used to play a little bit in middle order.
Yeah.
From that point of view, 173 matches as openers, more than 8,600 runs, average 56, strike rate nearly 100, 42 50s, 29 hundreds, 8 scores 150 plus, and he has the 264 also as the highest of the ODI, at hundreds as well. So he's a special player as well.
I think arguably I would say that in ICC events, Rohit is arguably India's best ODI batter. His numbers in World Cups and Champion trophies around average of 59 and strike rate of 99 to 100.
Especially in the trophies,
Yeah,
Champions Trophy and ODI. Yeah, yeah.
which like means he's not just accumulating or like just only trying to get runs. He's scoring quickly in very high pressure tournaments, and he's turned up big in especially the 2019, 2017 Champions Trophy, and of course the 2023 one, which we have won.
Yeah, I mean, no, no, 2023 ODI World Cup we lost. We won the 2025
Sorry,
Champions Trophy. So then there is his impact for in chases for sure as well. Rohit has 17 ODI hundreds in chases as well, equal to Sachin Tendulkar. So he's second only to Kohli. So it's not that Rohit is just a first innings batter. He also chases very well. So you look at the streams of chase masters. India's top two are literally Rohit and Kohli.
Yeah. And he's also a nightmare against Australia.
Hmm.
9 ODI hundreds against Australia, joined almost the same amount along with Tendulkar, and 6 ODI hundreds in Australia. The most by any visiting player, 5 of them against Australia.
Well, absolutely, this is definitely a very, very good record.
And more recently, he climbed number one in the ODI batting rankings for the first time, reflecting that sustained top order quality. And my dad and I were having discussion between Kohli and Rohit, and I did
Hmm.
say even though Kohli is an amazing batter and he's done significant impact for India's batting in ODI, I think Rohit is the number one batter in this format, especially because he brings a different style compared to Kohli, more calmer with more different tactics. Under Rohit, India's white ball side looks more like settled, and the 2023 World Cup run shows it. India's dominated the entire tournament until the bat final.
No, no, absolutely, absolutely. There is no doubt that Rohit is definitely a great batter, and just like with Kohli, I mean, the home versus overseas story matters as well. At home, under Rohit, India's ODI record is stellar. I mean, it's beyond comparison. Overseas, if Rohit fails early, you can suddenly see the fragility, especially if the middle order isn't fully matured. So together, Rohit and Kohli form a very, very big safety net. Even if the rest of the 11 is in transition, one
Yeah.
of them usually delivers. So that definitely, once we take them away, India's batting definitely looks a little bit more exposed.
Yeah, and now let's talk about Rohit and Kohli's partnership numbers. What they both did together. They had they are the most underrated part of this era in their partnership record. As a pair, Rohit and Kohli are amazing in ODIs. They have 12 partnerships of 150 plus runs together in ODIs, which is joint most by any pair in ODI history,
150 plus since 12 partnerships.
yeah,
Wow, that's amazing.
alongside Tendulkar and Ganguly.
Yeah, I mean, and their 19th century stands overall as a pair, which puts them right up among the greatest partnership ever. Almost 1,500 partnership runs versus Australia alone,
Yeah.
across 27 innings. So when you remove not just individual brilliance, but this partnership ecosystem of Kohli and Rohit, you are pulling out the spine of India's ODI's batting.
And that's why we keep repeating this one question, which is our title: post Rohit and Kohli, can India find both individual match winners and a partnership core that can be this reliable, which was this reliable across like maybe a decade almost, from like 4 5 years.
Yeah, I think we leave this question to the audience who are listening and drop their comments. Let's go to our next segment.
India's ODI decades, the strong record, thin trophy cabinet,
Hmm.
and just what has been going on for India themselves in the ODI format.
We are talking about last 10 years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So, if you look at roughly from 2015 to 2025, India have been one of the most consistent ODI sides on this planet. Of course,
yeah.
their overall ODI win percentage in this period has been very, very strong, around 60% mark. And if you look at home, that win percentage even jumps higher. So, reflecting how hard it is for the visiting teams to beat Indian conditions.
But of course, the trophies do tell a little more of a frustrating story, not only for
Hmm.
fans but also for the Indian team themselves. Because in the 2015 World Cup,
Hmm.
they played very well, but the semi-final exit.
We lost to Australia, I
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
And then 2017 Champions Trophy final, but lost.
To Pakistan. No, we lost in South Africa to Pakistan.
Yeah.
2015 was in Australia. We lost. Yeah.
Then 2019 World Cup, a very memorable World Cup for most people. We lost in the semi-final. Little, the performance was very great during
Because we
all
lost to
the.
New Zealand in England, right?
Yeah, and they had a great performance in the league matches. And then the 2023 World Cup at home, they were unbeaten until the final and then the major heartbreak. So while Kohli and Rohit have built great era of consistency, the number of major ODI titles doesn't match those statistical dominance which we've been seeing in bilaterals and in the stats.
No, you're right. And now with the 2027 World Cup on the horizon, it might be the last big ODI cycle featuring them at anything close to their peaks.
Yeah.
So if India goes deep into 2027, it will feel like a punctuation mark on this era. But the real test is the post 2027 timeline. When bilaterals in South Africa, New Zealand, England, Australia are played without Rohit and Kohli anchoring the top order.
If the replacements don't have enough these ODI experiences, especially overseas, and if they're forced to juggle IPL, T20s, tests without a clear ODI identity, India's ODI win percentage could slip drastically. And we could see more erratic tours, brilliant performances mixed with sudden collapses.
No, absolutely, you're right. I agree. And if we look at the ODI calendar also,
Yeah.
and the fan interest, it is very very tough. And if you look at the format itself, because this isn't just about India, it's about ODIs trying to survive in a crowded calendar. You have got a 2 month IPL,
Yeah.
you have got regular T20 bilaterals,
Yeah.
you have got these T20 World Cups popping up very frequently.
Hmm.
Then you have this World Chess Championship squeezing all across the cycle. So inside that, ODIs are squeezed into whatever is left.
And the fan behavior reflects that. For
Yeah.
many viewers today, bilateral ODI feels like a long commitment.
Hmm.
Unless it's high stakes series of Rohit and Kohli are batting, people prefer highlights of
Hmm.
those 50 over matches and short form content like T20s over these traditional ODIs. So ODIs have become heavily dependent on star power and big tournaments. And that's where the post Rohit and Kohli fear kicks in. If ODI is already struggling for attention,
Yeah.
and you take away one of the biggest reasons casual fans tune in, not across the whole world, but especially for India,
Hmm.
those iconic batting styles and chases, thrills at the top, interest could drop sharply. Then boards and broadcasters will logically push more T20 content, right? Because of
Yeah.
reasons, and because that's where engagement and money are.
And that's the risk ODI carries now. And probably now ODIs people look at only at the World Cup only content, right? A
Yeah.
big World Cup every 4 years, maybe a Champions Trophy or an Asia Cup in between. And bilateral ODI is reduced to just warm-ups between low emotional investment. And you rightly said they just tune in when some Rohit is playing or Kohli is playing. So that's bad for India's long-term ODI strength, because you don't get enough serious 50 over cricket to develop new players and new strategies.
So now let's answer the score question, which we've been talking about. Is India really on the verge of slipping post Rohit and Kohli era? And yeah,
Well, I would say, if you ask me, Toshan, that's a brilliant question you're putting, and that's why we're doing this podcast today. I would say the risk is real, uh, but it's manageable. I think the risk includes overseas ODIs,
Yeah.
become tougher because you lose the guaranteed top order stability. India's mental edge in chases, which is built around these players, goes down. Then fan interest also dips, when these are not here.
On the other hand, India's talent pool is quite huge. The next generation can step up if they get enough ODIs in diverse conditions, not just at home. They have clear roles in the batting order. Who's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
new anchor? Who's two players like Rohit? Because Rohit started playing very aggressive in the first 10 overs. The team management treats ODI as maybe like a more strategic format and not just like an extension of T20 batting, right? And this is going to be very good, very serious to look at. This is something similar which is happening with Test, where we have a lot of talent pool, but the talent pool is kind of restricted.
No, no, I think I totally agree with how the team management should look at. And the danger is if ODI keep getting fewer windows, new players won't get that chance to build
Yeah.
the kind of numbers and experience Rohit and Kohli have. And then India could end up being, world class in T20s. Strong probably in test they have to, but only decent or inconsistent in ODIs.
But right now, if we see, India's very strong in T20s, but right now they're kind of slipping. And then they're quite strong in ODI, but Test is also falling. So right now the um, thing is quite opposite.
So what should BCCI and ICC do?
Yeah, so let's give our suggestions and solutions we think to keep ODIs more relevant, post Rohit and Kohli, and protect India's ODI strength.
Yeah, so on the format side, what do you feel? What could be done?
I think making ODIs way more meaningful, but like short, meaningful, like high stakes series or mini tri series than random like 3 match tours, because people won't really care about that, right? There must be some meaning.
Right.
And then they must also protect the dedicated ODI windows. So they should have dedicated times. They cannot always do this where Test and T20 is always first and then ODI will just fit in wherever they can fit in, because I don't think that's a good thing to do. So there should be a calendar before World Cup where top teams must play in different conditions, and just to have a better
Yeah.
fan interest as well.
No, absolutely. And, from India's perspective, I would say the use remaining years of Rohit and Kohli to mentor and play alongside the next generation in ODIs,
Yeah.
especially overseas. Let the youngsters learn chases and tough conditions with those two still in the 11. Create a storyline around some new players.
Like
The
Weber.
new. I mean, Weber has not yet played ODI.
Yeah.
He just played in India A, and he did well with Sri Lanka and I think some
Yeah.
tri series. But still, so we need to create a storyline around new players, show their ODI milestones, their averages, their big knocks. Fans need new heroes.
Yeah, because we cannot always rely on Kohli and Rohit just staying all the time, right? So
Yeah.
if the boards and ICC maybe treat ODI like more of a premium, like long form white ball cricket, like how Test was treated before, not just some extended T20, because that's what it feels like now. If they don't do that, then they get passed forward. If they treat it as a very premium, otherwise ODIs risk becoming more of a very nostalgia product. We talk about the Rohit Kohli era. We watched World Cup, and in between, we barely even noticed the bilateral 50 over series. So we can see that risk.
Absolutely. I just missed the Afghanistan bilateral ODI. I think there was some one or two
Yeah.
ODIs or three ODIs, and we just missed that. So that was really tough to see. So you're right.
So now let's wrap up this session.
Yeah.
Virat Kohli with over 14,255 ODI runs, a high 50s average, 70 50 plus scores, and 28 chase hundreds has redefined what ODI chase looks like.
Absolutely, and Rohit Sharma with nearly 8,700 runs as an opener at an average of 56, 96 strike rate, 29 hundreds, 264 as the highest score, great ICC tournament records. I mean, together they have given India a decade of ODI stability and expectation, but the trophy count hasn't fully matched the dominance.
Post Rohit and Kohli, India and the global game will need clear strategy to keep ODIs relevant and keeping India strong in this format.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Actually, post Kohli Rohit era is important, and the good news is that this isn't all doom and gloom. There's enough talent and enough time.
Yeah.
If you treat ODI as a serious format and not as just a leftover.
Yeah. So we'd also love to hear from you guys here. Now, these are some questions. Do you still enjoy bilateral ODIs? Who do you think can realistically carry India's batting once Rohit and Kohli are gone? And what changes would you make? Form like tournaments or to make 50 over cricket exciting again? Like not really rules of format because that's we cannot change that, but making a better tournament to make ODI more enjoyable now.
Absolutely. And so these are the questions we leave all of you behind. And thank you for watching today. This has been, Googly Sports Live, and a lot of, I think, people joined us in. There's some
Yeah.
people also dropped comments on our last videos. Thank you very much
And
for all your support.
thank you guys.
Thank you very much. See you next time.